Welcome to a short public service announcement on the Constitution of the United States of America. The Constitution is the way that our government runs. It is the law of the land, our rule book. The Constitution is the basis of our free country. To create a new document that would be our Constitution, a group of our founding fathers, led by General George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and James Madison, came together in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to express ideas of how our government should be run. Here is what they had to say.
In the summer of 1787, 12 of 13 states sent 55 men to Philadelphia to revise the Articles of Confederation. Instead, they wrote the Constitution and forged our nation. Here are some of the greatest political thinkers in history. You may know some of them. George Washington, first in war, first in peace, first in the hearts of his countrymen. He probably could have been a new king, but he chose to be the first president, a position of limited power. As commander-in-chief, he had led the Revolutionary Army to victory. Only a deep sense of caring and duty led Washington to sacrifice years of his life to help create our nation. He presided at the Constitutional Convention. His leadership kept unity. He much preferred making improvements with the earth as a skilled Virginia farmer. Washington's patience, integrity, determination, and sense of justice led this country from revolution to peace. That is why he is called the father of our country. At the start of the Constitutional Convention, he said, "Let us raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair. The event is in the hands of God."
Benjamin Franklin. In the heated debates of the convention, his humor, patience, wit, and wisdom continually instructed the delegates in the art of compromise and unity. His accomplishments in the 84 years of his life from 1706 to 1790 are staggering. He was a successful philosopher, author, publisher, diplomat, peacemaker, scientist, inventor, businessman, educator, philanthropist, and leader of men. As one of America's greatest sages, he helped found the University of Pennsylvania, an insurance company, a hospital, a workable postal system, the first circulating library, and philosophical and scientific societies. He invented bifocal lenses, the lightning rod, the Franklin stove, and a new printing press. He made great scientific discoveries related to the nature of electricity and even heat. Benjamin Franklin's work as a diplomat to France helped win the Revolution, and his negotiations with Britain helped bring peace.
James Madison, known as the father of the Constitution, he led in calling for the Great Convention, kept the clearest vision of the structure of the new government, and through the Federalist Papers, which he wrote along with John Jay and Alexander Hamilton, explained and persuaded the people to accept the Constitution and the idea of the United States of America. Because Madison kept extensive notes, we have a record of the debates and proceedings at the convention. Through his deep insight into human nature and political process, he led in creating our government, which rests on the concept of a government with respect for majority rule and protection of minority and individual rights. Madison was particularly interested in protecting freedom of religion and expression, and can be called one of America's greatest human rights advocates. He later became our fourth president.
Now that we know a little bit more about our founding fathers and the fathers of the Constitution, let's look at the document that they created. The Constitution is broken down into three parts: the executive branch, which is the president and chief of government, the legislative branch, which makes our laws, and the judicial branch, which interprets our laws. Each of these branches working together ensures democracy, according to the Founding Fathers. At the Constitutional Convention, it was proposed that these three branches be added. The Constitution is a how-to guide to our government. When the Constitution first came into the eye of the people, they were horrified. How could a government turn on them? They just wanted to amend the government that they had, which was the Articles of Confederation, not make a new government. Would this government meet their needs? Who would know? The people did not understand something. How could there be a government that would take away their rights? that is all they could see right now. There had to be something added to this new Constitution, something that would guarantee their rights, something that would eventually be called the Bill of Rights. And it is finished. After the Constitution was initially approved on September 17, 1789, it took 3 years to ratify the document, which means to approve. Many states would not ratify the Constitution unless the Bill of Rights was added. And so, the Founding Fathers added the Bill of Rights, and on May 29, 1790, Rhode Island, the state that abstained the most and did not want anything to do with the Constitution, finally said yes, and at last, America had a new, strong government based on the Constitution. Wow. Still going strong after 200 years, the Constitution is doing that. People never thought that the Constitution would last, and it has. The Constitution is just as strong or stronger today as it was 200 years ago when it was written. Today, your representatives use the Constitution to represent you. The Constitution is the reason that we have elections, the reason we are free, and the reason we have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The Constitution is important to you because it is your document. It was written for you by our Founding Fathers so that you could have a government. The Constitution gives you your freedom to speak, freedom to do what you want to do. In many countries, the people do not have freedoms like we do. Thanks to George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and James Madison, we can have our freedoms. Remember, the law of the land is your document, the great Constitution of the United States of America.